Chapter 683. We should ascend as quickly as possible. Indeed, that would be wise. Kishir agreed with Yudhir's words. However, surprisingly, there was no need to hurry. The ones they were seeking appeared before them on their own. I heard the clash of weapons from afar. Could it be? Upon sensing Yudhir's expression, Kishir nodded. It seems our exceptional allies have found the secret passage first. We must go before the standoff intensifies and run away. At Kishir's call, Ranavi, who had been trailing behind, barely lifted her head. Yes? Do you still remember what we asked of you yesterday? Ranavi's expression became subtle. Yesterday, when they promised to rescue her, Kishir and Yidhir had requested Ranavi to perform a few tasks. The first was to inform those trapped on the third and ground level of the situation and then to withdraw her restraint power. The second was to immediately exert her power upon discovering Nukijo's Awakener subordinate with stealth abilities, or if they encountered any other possible Awakener subordinates of Nukijo. The first task was important, but the second was more crucial. If Nukijo had more Awakener subordinates, no one could counter them as effectively as Ranavi. But it turned out that Nukijo's Awakener subordinate was none other than Regina. I remember. Good. The time to fulfill the second request seems to be approaching soon. I will rely on you the moment we encounter those who are fighting. Kishir's expression was calm and relaxed, like someone oblivious. But as always with his actions, they harbored meanings too complex for even Yudhir to fully surmise. Ranavi must be tested by bringing up the second request without prior warning about Regina's remaining opportunity. Ranavi bit her lip and nodded. Yes. Yudhir, anticipating that Ranavi might not be able to exert her full power, firmly placed his hand on the hilt of his sword, ready to intervene at any moment. But his concerns were unfounded. As soon as Ranavi heard the screams of those battling an invisible attacker, she did not hesitate to unleash her ability. And now, the worst-case scenario was averted. While Regina had inflicted injuries on some of the Imperial Army and a portion of the cavalry, there was no serious casualties. In fact, Regina's injuries were much more severe. It's admirable that they could handle a situation against an unknown Awakener with abilities that they have never seen before without panic. But it's disappointing that they got injured against an Awakener who was almost an amateur. Yudhir resolved to prepare a much more challenging and intense training regimen for the cavalry members of the southern branch. If they had seen the names of the training exercises he was contemplating, they would have immediately collapsed in terror. While these thoughts flashed through his mind, Nathan Zuckerman approached. He looked back and forth between the blood-covered Yudhir wearing Kishir's cloak and the Lord smiling proudly next to him in an outfit showing off his skin, and then silently pulled off a small pouch he had been carrying on his back. Inside, as Kishir had expected, was another cloak. I thought you might bring something like this. Thank you, Nathan. Not at all. As the adjutant, he ought to have advised Kishir, a noble of imperial lineage and a duke, to consider his dignity more closely. But Nathan Zuckerman was as composed as his lord. His demeanor revealed a master craftsman's experience, suggesting this wasn't his first time handling such matters. What had Nathan Zuckerman experienced to possess such preparedness? For the first time, Yudhir felt a spark of curiosity, but given the situation, he remained silent. Kishir, draped in a light and elegant cloak, winked at Yudhir, then turned to address the cavalry members who were busy binding the VIPs and Nukijo subordinates. Tie them up and gather as much information and names as possible. We don't know if any of them will try to escape or swap places once outside, taking advantage of the chaos. Understood. Stop your nonsense. Names indeed. We will never reveal them to the likes of you. As expected, the VIPs protested vehemently. Nukijo subordinates too remained silent, sealing their lips. The cavalry members murmured amongst themselves, frustrated. A few slaps or hanging them upside down to tickle their feet might loosen their tongues. Would that be too much? The VIPs shuddered at this dreadful suggestion, hurling insults. You vulgar brutes, I was merely kidnapped. Anyone who dares lay a hand on an innocent will face retribution in the name of my family. Will you take responsibility for your words? I will let the world know the cavalry captures innocence without proper verification. I am innocent. Do you really think the people of Charloin will believe your accusations? It was clear to any observer that these individuals were guilty. The idea of Nukijo's VIPs being innocent victims of kidnapping was preposterous. But those present were powerful enough to turn such lies into truth should there be no witnesses to their actions here. They continued to brazenly claim their innocence, glaring at Nukijo's subordinates who had bought them. Seeing that they knew how to twist the situation to their advantage, the cavalry members felt both annoyance and confusion. They had never encountered such brazen behavior, even when arresting nobles involved in illegal auctions in the West. These individuals seemed to have skins as thick as iron. Kishir, closely observing, spoke up again. So, everyone claims to be innocent. Are they truly saying they saw nothing of what transpired here today? Yes, that's right. A noble, responding arrogantly, suddenly screamed, reeling as if struck. The culprit was, of course, Yudir Ale, standing beside Kishir. Show respect. He is the commander of the cavalry. His voice was slow, emotionless, and cold. That single sentence had a profound effect. The air around them turned icy, and the bound individuals, sensing their fear, fell silent. The fact that these individuals still dared such insolence even after seeing some members called Kishir Commander indicated that many still underestimated Duke Kishir Lahore, the master of the divine sword and the commander of the cavalry. Despite knowing his achievements, they pretended ignorance, revealing their malicious nature. Was there any need to tolerate such scoundrels? No, there wasn't. However, Yudir had to apologize to Ranavi, who might have momentarily suffered a setback in her ability to suppress due to the power Yudir had unleashed. I'm sorry, are you alright? I'm fine. It was startling when part of it broke suddenly. Fortunately, the power Yudir had summoned was minimal, so Ranavi was only startled, not injured. Yudir had anticipated this and had moderated his strength accordingly, which was a relief. But a small force doesn't mean the impact on the recipient is lessened. What Yudir had done was the use of power of the wind to hurl a tiny piece of gravel from the ground. Even a small stone, when hurled at high speed, can hurt more than a rock. The VIPs would have learned that lesson well enough by now. Amid the icy atmosphere, Kishir couldn't help but let out an embarrassed laugh. Oh dear, thanks to a capable assistant, there is no need to raise my voice anymore. I'm truly grateful. ... Yes, claims can be freely made, but no matter how much one tries to hide, the truth always emerges. I believe the people who remember best what these amnesiacs did are right here, but I wonder if truly no one is willing to speak up. ... I'm sure there are those who understand what will benefit their future and won't forget that it's ultimately up to them to decide. The subordinates of Nukijo weren't completely oblivious. Realizing Kishir's indirect persuasion, some of them twitched nervously. However, one of them yelled out in a rage, "Anyone who speaks will not be spared. Keep quiet." This fucker. But Kishir, looking past them at Sairajina, smiled. Sairajina, who had been staring blankly at him, glanced at Ranavi and then clenched her teeth, swallowing hard.